Hey everybody, Josh with Gamers Haven, and I'm starting the construction of 2 boxes of the Ash Wastes terrain from the Necromunda Ash Wastes box set. So, as I mentioned in the kind of intro video, I'm going to be building a Martian Mechanicum themed board. It's going to use some Ash Wastes terrain as well as some Mechanicum terrain. It'll be modular, so we'll use some XPS foam, MDF, all sorts of good stuff. So what I did before this video was shown was go ahead and clip off 2 boxes of this stuff into kind of my big box that we showed on the intro video. And right now, I'm going to go through and just kind of clean everything up and start building it en masse. So to note on these little kind of base plates, they're almost identical. The only way I could tell them apart was the injection molded like damage on them, and that's how I could figure out which is which as I was going through and building these things. But yeah, that's kind of it for building these. Throughout this whole video, as it plays fast forward, I'll just go through, add narration as need be. The biggest thing is really going to be later on when I start putting the walls on the big halves. That's kind of where it got a little tricky, and I think I figured out how to do that easily as I address kind of in the wrap up here. But yeah. this was kind of the one challenging part of construction. So you've got the big four walls built on, and then you've got these little connectors that fit in. And there's four of them. They're trying to keep the dang thing straight. So I initially was doing this using some accelerant to kind of get it to line up. As I was going through this and get a little frustrated, I realized if I put the lid on, I could build them with that. And although I have my mask here while I'm using accelerant, I later realized, this is completely foolish. I did it the hard way. So by putting the lids on, popping them down, then I could put little connectors in and glue them in a much, much easier way. So that's definitely the way to do it while you're constructing these things. So you don't have to deal with accelerant or any other nonsense. And here I'm just kind of gluing on those little tiny fiddly kind of connectors where, like a guide rope or whatever would connect. All right, and we are pretty much done with the Hab blocks construction. So you can see we've got 4 of these assembled right now. So a couple things that I learned watching other videos was the heights. So we're not gonna kind of glue any of these connectors on yet, but you can kind of see sort of how they go together. Pop on there, you've got some bases. They can either pop in directly, or there's some little kind of junctions that you put in inside of them to get them to pop in. Like this one will fit here, and this will go here. So you can see, just the one height, or maybe not, but you kind of see how these go together and the height difference and all that good stuff. So what I'm going to do, however, is hold off on gluing any of these 4. The bases, any of these other kind of little platforms we've got, any of these freestanding platforms. I'm just going to hold it off until I build more stuff. So what I have done is clean up a lot of the sprue cuttings and kind of trimmings. So this stuff's ready to go. So all these walkways, we've got a bunch of these that are glued together. We've got our whole big box of extra bits. So most of these are really kind of just add-on stuff. So little steps that you can... We've got some freestanding kind of trims and doodads, if you will. Lots of other cool stuff that we're going to really hold off on until I start formulating how this is all going to go together. And we start figuring out the elevations. So one thing I really want to highlight that was in kind of the fast forward of construction is building these things. So when you build these, you glue on all 4 of these kind of walls, and you've got 4 of these little connectors that fit in, and they are a pain in the ass to glue in. So really the key thing to do here is you get the 4 big walls on, you pop this guy on, you flip it upside down, and then while the lid is sitting there, holding everything together, then you can go in and pop these little pieces in and then glue them both sides, and then just kind of work your way around applying some vertical pressure. And I found that was the easiest way to build these, and also ensure that these pieces were kind of, say, square, but aligned well with the top pieces. And then I let them dry kind of upside down with these things on it, fully connected. One thing I did have to do was to kind of put my finger in here and pop the lids off. So I did that for all 4 of them, going around slowly, because I'm obviously going to want to paint these with the lids off. And then for playing, we're going to keep the lids unglued. So if we need to pop the lids off and stick dudes in there for 30k, 40k, Necromunda, whatever other games we plan, we'll do that. So that's it for the Hab block construction right now until we get more stuff laid out. Next up is going to be the start of the Mechanica stuff. So we're going to start constructing some of these big fuel tanks, whatever they are, some more of the greebles, the heliotrope reactor, all that other good stuff. I'm still waiting on one more box of the
Mechanicum terrain to come in. But the next setup will be constructing Mechanicum stuff, getting that all built, and then we're going to start going into the layout, which will be using the MDF board with XPS foam and starting to lay everything out and kind of draw it out before we cut the MDF, the XPS, and start really constructing the stuff, and then we'll go to painting. So that's it for the Necromunda Hab block construction for now. Again, trying to keep everything as modular as possible, so I can kind of construct stuff. Sorry, I've got one of my dogs in here. And get everything where I want it before we glue anything that's more permanent. But again, if you have any questions, let me know. Again, the key thing in constructing this was really just putting this top on for these 4 little connectors in here for all 4 of the halves. Without that, there's kind of a pain in the ass to try to hold those 2 pieces together, put this piece in, hold it while it glues, and then keeping everything straight and even. So that's the one pro tip here. That's it for me, Josh, at Gamers Haven, your place to play. We'll see you next time.